I had always thought life made sense. I had Emily, the woman I loved more than anything, my sister Lily marrying the guy she adored, and my family gathered for what should have been the happiest night of all. I straightened my tie in the mirror and glanced at Emily. She was radiant, her smile bright enough to light the room. "You look perfect," I said. Trying to keep my voice steady, Emily laughed, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "You say that every time, but I love hearing it anyway." I smiled, feeling the warmth in my chest. "You always know what to say." "Only for you," she whispered, leaning closer. I squeezed her hand. "We're going to have the best night. Lily's wedding. Everything will be perfect." "Everything's perfect with you," she said. Her eyes sparkled. I wanted to believe her. I really did. But when we arrived at the reception hall, my dad was already there, greeting guests with his usual stern smile. He nodded at me, and I felt the familiar mix of respect and tension. "Good to see you on time, son," he said. "Don't keep Lily waiting." "Of course, Dad," I replied. I turned to find Lily glowing in her white dress and waved. She ran over, laughing. "You made it finally. Come, you can't miss this." I hugged her tightly. "You look amazing, Lily. I'm proud of you." "Thanks, big brother," she said, squeezing me back. The reception began smoothly. Guests mingled, music played, and I thought I could breathe again. Emily held my arm, chatting politely with my mom and aunt. Everything felt normal, until I saw them. Through the crowd, I noticed movement by the side of the hall. My stomach sank before my brain caught up. Emily was leaning against the wall, whispering with Dad. At first, I thought it was a normal conversation, but then I saw it, the kiss. Time froze. I couldn't breathe. My mind refused to believe it. Emily, my Emily. And my dad? My hand shook, and I gripped my glass too tightly. I wanted to scream, to run, but my legs betrayed me. "Dad, what the hell is this?" My voice was low, trembling with anger and disbelief. They both jumped apart, eyes wide. Emily's smile vanished. It's not what it looks like." "Not what it looks like?" I spat, my throat tight. "You're kissing my dad." "On my sister's wedding night." Dad adjusted his tie, his face unreadable. "Calm down, son. You're misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding? How could I possibly misunderstand this?" "Emily," my voice rose. People started turning to look. "Tell me this isn't true." Emily stepped back, hands raised. I swear, it wasn't what—" I cut in, fury replacing shock. "Wasn't cheating? Wasn't betraying me? Wasn't ruining everything?" Dad cleared his throat. "Look, I don't. Just don't." My voice cracked. "I trusted both of you." Emily's eyes filled with tears, but they weren't enough. "I love you. I don't know why, love." "Is that what you call this? Love?" I laughed bitterly, shaking my head. "You've humiliated me. Both of you." Dad's jaw tightened. "I never meant to? Never meant to? That's supposed to make me feel better?" I took a step closer, chest heaving. "You've destroyed my family. My sister's wedding. And you, Emily, my fiancée," Emily whispered. "Please, just give me a chance to explain. There's nothing to explain." I saw everything. I spun around, gripping my hair in frustration. The room blurred. My mind raced. How could Emily betray me? How could Dad, my father, betray me like this? Lily appeared then, confused and worried. "What's happening? Why are you yelling?" I couldn't speak. Words failed me. I looked at Emily, then Dad. Rage, grief, and disbelief tangled into a knot in my chest. Emily's hand reached for mine, trembling. "Please, I didn't mean, don't touch me." I shouted, "Stay away from me, both of you." Dad's voice softened. I know this looks bad, but too late for but," I said, my voice hollow. "It's too late for everything." I walked away from them, the room spinning around me. Laughter, music, congratulations, it all felt unreal. Betrayal had poisoned every corner of my life in a single moment. I wanted to collapse, scream, and disappear at once. But most of all, I wanted to understand how the people I trusted most could betray me like this, and I knew. In that instant, nothing would ever be the same. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. My mind kept replaying the image, Emily and Dad, lips touching, smiles hiding 1,000 lies. I stared at the ceiling, wishing it had been a nightmare I could wake from. Still awake? Mom's voice startled me. She appeared in the doorway, calm as ever, like nothing had happened. "I can't sleep," I muttered, pulling the blanket tighter around me. Mom stepped closer, folding her hands neatly. "You need to think clearly. You can't just let anger rule you. Think clearly." "Mom, she slept with Dad." My voice cracked. "How am I supposed to think clearly?" "I know it's hard," she said softly, "but emotions cloud judgment. You need to consider your future, your engagement." I blinked at her, unable to believe what I was hearing. "You're saying I should marry her?" "Yes," Mom said, without hesitation. "You love her. You've built a life together. One mistake. One terrible mistake doesn't erase everything else." I shook my head, incredulous. "One mistake." "Mom, it's not a mistake. It's betrayal. On my sister's wedding night?" "I can't just ignore that," Mom sighed, perching on the edge of my bed. "Sometimes forgiveness is strength, not weakness. You can still be happy if you choose wisely." "Forgiveness?" I spat, feeling bile rise. "She doesn't deserve forgiveness. And Dad, he's—" I trailed off, unable to finish the sentence without shaking. Mom reached out, her hand brushing mine. "You have to decide with your head, not just your heart. Don't let anger destroy your life." I pulled my hand back. "Wait." "My heart, Mom. Everything feels wrong. I can't trust either of them anymore. Maybe I can't trust myself either." Mom tilted her head. "Doubt is normal. But you're stronger than you think. Think of the life you've imagined with Emily. Do you want to throw that away?" I turned away, staring at the wall. Memories of Emily, laughing in my arms, whispering promises of forever, cut me like knives. Could I really let that go? The next morning, I saw her. Emily, radiant as ever, smiling at me like nothing had happened. "Good morning," she said, voice bright. "Sleep well?" I nodded stiffly. "Yeah. Okay." She stepped closer, brushing my sleeve. "I know last night was awkward, but we can get through this. Can we?" I asked, keeping my voice low. "Can we really?" Her eyes widened. "I don't want to lose you. Please, don't push me away." I wanted to believe her. I wanted desperately to believe her. But the memory of that kiss burned in my mind. I couldn't pretend it wasn't there. Later at Lily's wedding, I tried to hide my anger, my heartbreak. I smiled when people congratulated me, shook hands politely, and kept my emotions in check. Emily laughed too easily, whispering jokes to Mia, her friend, who stood by her side with that sly, knowing smile. I noticed Mia glance at me, her eyes flickering with something unspoken. "You're quiet today." "Everything all right?" I forced a smile. "Just tired. It's a long day," Mia shrugged, her tone casual, but her words sharp. "If you say so, just keep your eyes open, okay?" "What do you mean?" I asked, frowning. "Nothing," she said quickly, stepping back. "Enjoy the wedding." But her words lingered, a whisper of doubt twisting in my chest. I glanced at Emily again, laughing, glowing, pretending nothing had happened, and felt bile rise. Later I caught her looking at me, concern written across her face. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she whispered. "It was a mistake, a misunderstanding, a mistake." I interrupted, voice low and dangerous. "You call sleeping with my dad a mistake? On my sister's wedding night?" Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I love you. I swear I didn't mean love." "How am I supposed to believe that now?" I demanded, jaw tight. Dad approached then, clearing his throat. "Son, you need to calm down. This is making things worse." I turned to him, voice rising. Worse, you ruined my life. You humiliated me. Do you even feel guilty? It's complicated, he said, shrugging. People make choices. You'll see, this isn't the end of anything. I stared at him, hatred simmering under the surface. Not the end? It's only the beginning of a nightmare I never asked for. Throughout the ceremony, I kept a facade of composure, but inside, rage and heartbreak warred with lingering love. I remembered the nights Emily held me close, whispering sweet nothings. Those memories twisted in my mind like knives, sharp and painful, by the time the reception ended. I knew one thing. I couldn't trust Emily. I couldn't trust Dad. And I wasn't sure if I could trust myself anymore. As I watched Emily dance with Mia laughing nearby, I clenched my fists, fighting the urge to confront them both. I felt trapped between love and anger, unable to move forward, yet unable to step back. Mom's words echoed in my head, urging forgiveness, pragmatism, and calm. But how could I forgive what had been done? How could I find calm in a life shattered by the two people I trusted most? I stepped outside, letting the cold night air hit my face. My heart ached. My mind raced. And somewhere deep inside, I knew that the choice I made next would change everything. I kept my head down at work, pretending nothing had happened. Meetings, calls, emails, it all blurred together. A dull hum that kept my mind busy enough not to dwell on Emily and Dad. But inside, I was anything but calm. Every time my phone buzzed, every time I saw a message from her, my chest tightened. Hey, you okay? Daniel asked, sliding into the chair opposite mine. His usual easy smile didn't reach his eyes this morning. Fine, I muttered, not looking up from my laptop. Just busy. Daniel leaned back, studying me. You don't look fine. You look haunted. I let out a short laugh. Haunted. Yeah, maybe that's the word. Just tired of everything, you know? Daniel nodded slowly. Want to talk about it? I hesitated. Normally, I kept personal life private, but something about Daniel made it easier. It's complicated. Family stuff. Betrayal stuff. Things I can't. You wouldn't understand. Try me, he said, voice calm. I've seen enough office drama. Family drama might be worse. Swallowed hard. It's Emily and my dad. I caught them. Together. Daniel's eyes widened, but he didn't look shocked like I expected. Instead, he leaned in. Wow. That's brutal. Brutal doesn't even cover it, I muttered. I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to scream. Part of me wants to run. Part of me wants revenge. Daniel nodded slowly. Revenge can feel satisfying, but it can also consume you. Are you ready to let it? I don't know, I admitted, but I can't forgive them. Not yet. Not ever, maybe. He leaned back, thinking. Then don't. Just be smart about it. Plan your moves. Don't let them see it coming. I felt a flicker of something hope, maybe. Plan my moves. Gee, yeah. I can do that. The office was quiet, but my thoughts roared. Every interaction with Emily in recent days replayed in my mind. Her laughter, too easy. Her hand brushing against mine like nothing had happened. The way she avoided my gaze when Dad was around. She knew I saw through her act. Later, Emily stopped by my desk. Hey, I wanted to check if we're still on for dinner tonight, she said, voice sweet, eyes wide with what I suspected was feigned innocence. I looked up slowly. Dinner? Sure, if you want. My tone was clipped. Is something wrong? She asked, tilting her head. I shrugged. I'm just tired. She smiled, a little too brightly. You're always tired. Work too much, I guess. Yes, work. Exactly that, I said, holding her gaze just long enough to make her uneasy. I noticed her subtle flinch, the way her fingers twisted nervously around her napkin. I just want things to be normal, she said softly. Normal, I echoed, voice low. Do you know what that word means now? She opened her mouth, but I turned back to my work, leaving her hanging. Small victories, I thought. Let her feel the weight of her choices. Let her see the cracks forming in her perfect act. Dad called me later that afternoon. His voice was calm, almost arrogant. "Son, I hope you're handling things responsibly. No drama, right?" "Drama," I said, forcing a neutral tone. "You mean the drama you caused?" There was a pause. "Son, you're overreacting." "I never meant." "Never meant?" I repeated, my tone sharper. "Do you know what that even sounds like?" "Sounds like a misunderstanding," he said smoothly, but I caught it a slight slip. A twinge in his voice betraying guilt he refused to acknowledge. I hung up, heart hammering. They were fragile, but too stubborn to admit it. That arrogance would be their downfall. That night, I replayed the wedding in my head. Emily, dancing with friends, smiling at Mia, their whispers I couldn't hear but imagined perfectly. Dad laughing in his self-important way, completely unaware, pretending to beave how much he had broken me. Daniel's advice echoed, "Be smart, plan carefully." That thought became a mantra. Revenge wouldn't be loud. It would be silent, precise, and devastating in its subtlety. I would make them regret underestimating me. I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror before leaving the office. Eyes tired, face pale, but jaw set. The man in the reflection had changed. Betrayal had hollowed something out of me, but it also sharpened me. Emily might still act innocent. Dad might still play untouchable, but I could see through the cracks now. And when the time came, I would make them pay not with words. Not with anger, but with the slow unraveling of everything. They thought they controlled, and I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way. I found the first clue. When I went to grab a drink at the reception and noticed a small envelope slipped under the table, I picked it up, and my hands shook. A wedding gift card, but it wasn't for Lily and her husband. It had Emily's name, an unfamiliar bank account number, and a sum of money I couldn't believe. I shoved it into my pocket and kept walking, trying to act normal, though my heart pounded. Later, I saw Emily laughing with Mia again, whispering, glancing at me like she was daring me to notice. "Emily," said quietly when I caught up to her. She turned, smiling too brightly. "Hey, enjoying yourself?" "Yeah, sure," I muttered. "What's this?" I pulled the envelope from my pocket. Her eyes widened, and she tried to snatch it. "Give that back." "It's nothing, just some money I borrowed for a gift, that's all." "Borrowed? From whose account?" I pressed. "This isn't Lily's wedding gift hits from a hidden account. Why didn't you tell anyone?" Emily stepped back, twisting her fingers. I just wanted to surprise everyone. I didn't want to ruin the celebration. Surprise?" I laughed bitterly. "You hide your finances from me, from my family, and you call that a surprise." "Please don't make a scene," she said, voice sharp now. I shook my head. "Make a scene? You've already ruined everything. Do you have any idea what you've done?" Before she could answer, Mia appeared beside her. "Is everything okay here?" Her tone was too casual, too knowing. "Everything's fine," Emily said quickly. Mia looked at me, her eyes flashing. "I wouldn't be so sure. People aren't always what they seem." I frowned. "What are you trying to say?" Mia smiled faintly. "Just keep your eyes open, that's all. Sometimes the truth shows up in the smallest details." Emily's face paled slightly, and I realized Mia wasn't just giving me a hint. She knew more than she was letting on. I spent the rest of the evening watching Emily closely. She acted innocent, laughing with friends, holding my hand lightly when we passed each other, but the guilt in her eyes betrayed her. Every smile seemed forced, every touch calculated. Later, I overheard Dad on the phone, talking about an investment that Emily had kept secret from me. "Yeah, she didn't tell anyone, but it'll work out." "Don't worry," he said, voice casual, but I heard the pride and approval in his tone. My hands curled into fists. Not only had Emily betrayed me with him, but they were conspiring together in small, quiet ways, controlling what I could see and know. That night, I confronted Emily again, away from everyone. "How long have you been lying to me?" I asked, voice low but sharp. Emily looked down, twisting her ring nervously. I didn't think it mattered. I didn't want to hurt you. Didn't want to hurt me, I repeated, disbelief in my voice. Sleeping with my dad didn't hurt me enough, apparently. Now you've been manipulating money, hiding things from my family, lying to my sister. Her eyes widened. Manipulating? I was just trying to what? I interrupted. Make yourself look perfect. Control everything. Emily, I don't even know who you are anymore. She opened her mouth, then closed it. No words could fix what she had done. Mom appeared then, seemingly calm, her expression unreadable. You two need to stop this. Ethan, you need to think about your future. You've built a life with Emily. Don't throw it away over minor mistakes. Minor mistakes? I said, feeling my throat tighten. This isn't minor. She's been lying to me, cheating on me, manipulating everyone around her. How can you call that minor? Mom's eyes didn't waver. People make mistakes. You need to forgive and move forward. That's what matters. I turned away, needing air. My chest felt tight, my stomach sick. How could she call this forward? Forward was impossible, with all these lies piled between us. I walked outside, clutching the envelope. The night air hit my face, and memories of happier times burned in my chest. I remembered Emily laughing in the park, holding my hand, promising forever. I remembered Dad smiling proudly, hugging me after my promotion. Those memories twisted painfully with the betrayal I had discovered. I knew then that I couldn't forgive easily. Not Emily, not Dad, not anyone who pretended everything was fine. While destroying trust behind my back, I slipped the envelope into my pocket and made a silent promise. I wouldn't act rashly, not yet, but I would make sure the truth came to light piece by piece. Every lie, every hidden secret, every manipulation. They would see me coming, and when they did, they would understand the weight of betrayal. I turned back inside, calm on the surface, burning inside. I wouldn't let them control me anymore. I sat at my desk, staring at the city's skyline, trying to decide my next move. Every nerve in my body was tense, but my mind was sharper than it had been in weeks. The betrayal had hollowed me, but it had also forged something new, clarity. Daniel knocked lightly and stepped in. "You've been quiet all day?" "Thinking." I nodded. "Yeah, thinking, planning." "It's time I stopped being a victim." He raised an eyebrow. "Planning what exactly?" "Not letting them control me," I said, voice steady. "Emily, Dad, everyone. I've been reacting for too long. It ends now." Daniel nodded, impressed. "Good, you've been holding yourself back. What's the plan?" I smiled faintly. "Patience, observation. Every move I make now will be calculated." "They won't see it coming." He leaned back. "Silent but lethal." "I like it." Later, Emily appeared at my office, trying her usual charm. "Hey, you've been distant lately. Can we talk?" I didn't look up. "Talk about what?" "About us. About." "Last week," she said, her voice soft, eyes wide. "I know I messed up. I just want a chance to fix things." Finally met her gaze, calm and unshaken. "Fix things? Emily, you've destroyed trust. You've lied, manipulated, and betrayed me. You don't get to fix things with words." Her lips pressed together, frustration flickering across her face. "Please, I love you. Can't we work this out?" "Love," I repeated, voice low. "Love isn't what you call this. Love doesn't involve betrayal with my dad, hiding accounts, lying to my family." She flinched. I didn't mean stop," I said sharply. "I'm not a child, and I'm not falling for your excuses. I see through you now, Emily, and I won't let you manipulate me anymore." Her eyes widened, a flicker of fear replacing charm. You're different. You're not like before." I smiled faintly cold. "I've grown, and I'm done letting anyone control me." Later that evening, I confronted Dad privately in his study. "We need to talk," I said, voice measured. He leaned back in his chair, confident as ever. "About what?" "About everything," I said, stepping closer. About betrayal. About lies. About you using your pride to justify hurting me, Emily, and Lily. Dad's eyes narrowed. Pride, son? Life isn't about feelings. Sometimes you have to make choices. Choices for survival. I echoed, disbelief clear in my tone. You call ruining my life, humiliating me, survival? You've been selfish, arrogant, and cruel. And you have the audacity to lecture me about choices? He leaned forward, voice calm but sharp. I did what I had to do. You'll understand one day. I shook my head. No, Dad, you'll never understand what it means to betray trust. You'll never understand loyalty. And I won't let you control me anymore. His jaw tightened, but he said nothing. That silence was victory enough. Back at my apartment, I started organizing my thoughts. I made lists, plans, contingencies. Every interaction with Emily and Dad became a calculated test. Every smile, every word, every hesitation was noted, stored. I wasn't letting emotion cloud my judgment. Not anymore. Later, Emily called again, her voice trembling. Please, just one conversation. I need to explain. I've heard enough explanations, I said, calm. You're not getting another chance. I'm moving forward in my terms. Ethan, her voice cracked. You're cold, you're not the man I knew. I smiled faintly, almost sad. I'm the man I need to be, strong, in control. Not manipulated, not broken anymore. Daniel stopped by again that night. I can see it, he said. You're different, focused. You're not letting anyone push you around. I nodded. I've realized something important. Life is about control. If you don't take it, people will take it from you. And I won't let Emily, Dad, or anyone else take it from me. Daniel raised his hand. To taking back control. To taking back control, I repeated, a sense of calm determination settling over me. I thought about Mom's words from before, about forgiveness and moving forward. But forgiveness wasn't my path, not yet. My path was strength, strategy, and survival. I could love, yes, but only when trust was earned, not broken. I glanced at my phone. Emily had left a string of messages, each one desperate, manipulative, pleading. I read them one by one, without responding. Every word reinforced my decision. I wouldn't be swayed. I wouldn't be her victim anymore. Later that night, I stared out the window, city lights stretching endlessly. The anger, the heartbreak, the betrayal, they were still there. But now, they fueled me instead of destroying me. I had chosen my path. And nothing, no lies, no betrayal, no manipulation would stop me from walking it. The gathering was supposed to be simpler dinner with extended family. Casual laughter, nothing serious. But I knew the truth had a way of coming out, and I stayed quietly observant. Letting the night unfold, Emily was already there when I arrived, laughing a little too loudly, touching Dad's arm in that rehearsed way she had perfected. Mom stood nearby, offering polite smiles, and I caught glimpses of cousins and aunts whispering under their breath. Emily, darling, you're glowing tonight, Dad said, voice smooth, confident, as if nothing had happened. I watched her smile, tight and forced. Thanks, Dad, she said. But her eyes flickered toward me, just slightly. Betraying nerves, I stayed back, holding a glass, pretending to check my phone, though I was alert to every detail. Then one of Mom's friends, Aunt Claire, leaned toward another cousin, voice low, but not low enough. Did you hear about the wedding gifts? Emily's. Creative accounting? I felt a thrill, the first spark of satisfaction. Emily stiffened. I don't know what you mean, she said quickly, her laughter failing to mask tension. Aunt Claire smiled faintly. Oh, come on. It's not a secret anymore. Hiding accounts, pretending gifts. Someone has to notice. Dad's face tightened imperceptibly, though he kept his composure. Now everyone, let's not exaggerate. Exaggerate? I echoed, stepping closer. It's all true, isn't it? My tone was calm, controlled, but firm enough to draw attention. Emily turned to me, panic flashing in her eyes. "Ethan, please don't." I shook my head. "No. It's time the truth comes out." I let the silence hang, letting the room fill with curiosity and suspicion. Murmurs spread, subtle at first, then louder. "I always wondered why she kept certain things hidden," one cousin said. "And Dad? Well, his involvement is surprising." Emily's hand shook slightly, clutching her napkin. It's complicated," she said, voice tight. "Complicated?" I asked, voice calm but cutting. "It's betrayal, Emily, and people are seeing it clearly now." Dad finally spoke, voice authoritative, though I caught the strain in it. "Ethan, enough. This isn't the place." "Isn't the place?" I asked, stepping closer, meeting his gaze. "Isn't the place to let the family see how you've manipulated and lied? How you've controlled everything while pretending to be untouchable?" The whispers in the room grew. I saw aunts, cousins, even distant family exchange looks, realizing cracks in Dad's carefully maintained image. Emily's smile faltered completely, fear replacing practiced charm. Mom's lips pressed into a thin line, subtle embarrassment flickering across her face. She had tried to control the narrative before, insisting I forgive, move on, keep appearances. But even she couldn't stop the unraveling now. Emily turned toward me, voice trembling. "Please don't make me a fool in front of everyone. You made your choices," I said calmly. "I'm just showing the consequences." One of my cousins leaned forward. "Emily, the gifts, the accounts, and Dad, how does this all tie together?" Emily swallowed, stammering. I didn't mean to, I see now," I interrupted softly. "You manipulated everyone, hid things, lied to the family, and Dad supported it." Dad's jaw tightened, but he didn't contradict me. His pride was intact on the surface. But everyone could see the subtle falter, the slight shift, the hesitation. The room quieted as murmurs became pointed questions. Why didn't anyone know? How long has this been going on? Is this really true? Emily's face went pale. "It's not like you think," she whispered, almost to herself. I felt satisfaction bubble inside me, but I kept calm, maintaining moral high ground. I didn't need to yell, to argue, or humiliate. Karma was unfolding naturally, and I was letting it. Aunt Claire shook her head. "Seems like some people should rethink their positions in the family. Trust isn't given lightly." Emily's shoulders slumped, the confident mask gone. She looked around desperately, seeing judgment in eyes that had once smiled at her effortlessly. I turned slightly toward Dad. "Your authority, your untouchable image, it's gone. People see the truth now. You can lecture, you can demand respect, but you can't force trust. That's earned, not imposed." Dad's face remained stoic, but I caught a flicker of anger, shame. And the first crack in his arrogance, Emily sank into her chair, barely able to speak. "Ethan, please." I shook my head. "This isn't about me anymore. It's about consequences. About truth." The rest of the evening unfolded quietly, but the dynamic had shifted completely. Whispers replaced polite smiles. Emily's lies had been exposed, Dad's authority undermined, and even Mom's calm demeanor couldn't hide subtle embarrassment. I stood near the balcony, sipping my drink, watching the fallout. I felt relief, a quiet satisfaction that didn't need celebration. I hadn't humiliated them with words or anger. I had let reality do the work. Karma had arrived quietly, efficiently, leaving them exposed. And I finally felt the weight lift slightly, replaced by clarity, control, and a sense of justice that was mine alone. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the box Emily had left behind. Her gifts, her letters, the memories I thought were ours, they all felt heavy now. I took a deep breath and lit a match. One by one, I dropped the items into the flame, watching them curl and blacken, the smoke carrying away the illusion of what we had. Daniel knocked and stepped in. "That's intense." "Necessary," I said quietly. "Closure." He nodded, sitting beside me. "So what now?" "Now I move forward," I said, voice steady. "Alone if I have to. But on my own terms?" "You really mean it?" "You're not reconsidering?" I shook my head. No. Emily showed who she really is. I can't let her hurt me or anyone I care about again. I choose myself over toxic love. Later, Mom called. Ethan, are you sure about this? Yes, Mom, I said firmly. I'm not marrying Emily. Not now, not ever. You're throwing away everything. She's your fiancée. I'm not throwing away anything, I said. I'm reclaiming my life, my dignity, my peace. There was silence on the other end, then a resigned sigh. I suppose. If this is what you truly want, it is, I said. It has to be. I called Lily afterward. She answered, her voice bright despite everything. Ethan, are you coming over? I am, I said, smiling faintly. I need to see you. She opened the door, hugging me tightly. I've missed you. I hate that we've been through all this. I've missed you too, I admitted. But I'm glad we have each other. You've been my anchor, and you mine, she said softly. We sat in the living room, talking late into the night. I told her everything about Emily, about Dad, the lies, the manipulation. She listened, offering comfort, understanding, and support without judgment. Daniel came by the next day. You're really serious about this, huh? I am, I said. No turning back. I need to live my life without her control, without the shadow she cast over everything I value. He smiled. Good, you deserve that. You've been through hell, but you're stronger for it. I feel stronger, I admitted. More focused. More in control? I spent the next few days reclaiming my apartment, removing traces of Emily from my life. Social media connections, photos, messages, they all disappeared. Every small act felt like a weight lifting, a step toward freedom. Emily called once, voice pleading. Ethan, please? I can change. Give me another chance. I let the call go to voicemail. Silence spoke louder than any words I could say. She could beg, manipulate, cry. It wouldn't matter anymore. I had made my choice. Dad didn't call, didn't argue. I heard from Mom that he was furious, humiliated in front of family and friends, but unrepentant. That was his problem, not mine. I didn't need his approval anymore. One evening I found myself on the balcony staring at the city lights. Memories of betrayal, heartbreak, and anger still lingered, but they no longer had power over me. I had faced the pain, let karma unfold, and taken control of my own life. Daniel joined me, leaning against the railing. You've changed, he said. Not bitter, just aware, strong. Yeah, I said quietly. I've learned that peace doesn't come from revenge or control over others. It comes from understanding your worth, protecting yourself, and letting go of what doesn't serve you. Wise words, he said with a smile. I thought about Emily, about Dad, about Mom. They were all fixed in their ways. Emily remained selfish, Dad unrepentant, Mom resigned. But I didn't need to carry their burdens. I had chosen my path. Lily came out then, smiling at the two of us. You okay? I nodded. Better than okay. I finally feel free. Free from lies, manipulation, and the weight of their expectations. She smiled, squeezing my arm. I'm proud of you. Ethan, you faced everything and came out stronger. Thanks, Lily, I said. Feeling a sense of calm I hadn't known in weeks, I took a deep breath, letting the night air fill my lungs. The anger had dulled, the betrayal had lost its sting, and the clarity remained. I had survived. I had grown. I had reclaimed myself, and for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. No apologies were necessary. No revenge needed. The world had balanced itself quietly, and I had emerged whole, alone, perhaps, but stronger than ever. This was my life now. Mine to protect, mine to live, mine to cherish, and I would never let anyone take that away again.